know a lot of things that I stand for. And I think I'm a bit of a mixture between Bertrand Russell and Christopher Hitchens. I think I'm not a cynic, but just like the way Russell put it, a lot of problems that we face as humankind is down to the fact that people are irrational. and the way to handle them is to get people to act rationally. But then I completely agree with Hume's conclusion that reason is the slave of passion, and it ought to be. That means there's no permanent solution to the problems that we face, and it's inevitable that we enter this age of post-truth world.
That's beautiful. I like the point on rationality, actually. Would you say you think the world's actually, of course, we're so much more advanced now. We've got the internet, we've got all sorts of technologies. Would you say the world's actually becoming much more rational or irrational? My personal take is actually it's becoming more irrational. The fact that, especially social media, it spreads frenzy so easily, and people are so much more sort of driven to acts of passion so easy than they were before. And I think that's one of the major problems of today.
I don't think human nature has changed over the past few thousand years. I think we have more or less stayed the same. And I think education hasn't actually quite changed that. I think we spend more time in education, but it doesn't mean we're really more educated. I talk to many young people these days who, went through high school and university. Many of them even have master's degrees. I don't think, to me, they're more cultured. I don't think they are really that well educated. They are just, schooled in a certain discipline. And that, to me, means that people are more loaded with information, but it doesn't really have them think, be critical about things, and live a richer life. I think a lot of them lead a very, very soulless, meaningless sort of post life. So in that regard, I think it's just the same, really. I mean, things might have cancelled out with each other. We are educated to be more rational, and yet social media is helping us becoming more irrational. And in the end, all things balanced, maybe nothing has changed. I think many people would agree with me that what is always is a bit chaotic. I don't think that's an easy fix on that. Social media is an amplifier, but it doesn't change what people fundamentally are. I think that's a very key point to make. Some people think that social media changed people. I don't think it has. I think the good people have maybe become better, but the bad have become worse. That's all. It magnified things, but it changed things much. And I do believe in freedom of expression. I don't think we should go back to the pre-social media age. We should ban things. I mean, for example, I don't actually quite agree with Facebook and Twitter banning Trump from their platforms. I don't believe in that. I think I do believe in debates. I do believe in freedom of speech. I do believe that we should set the limit at only where it causes harm to other people. I don't think free speech should be so limited as it is now. I do think we've gone slightly towards left a bit too much. So much so that we are all now self-censoring ourselves. And I don't think that's right. Right now, the problem is people are not really being critical enough with each other. We are not really properly debating things. No one has the temperament or the patience to do it properly. I mean, when's the last time we've heard a proper debate? I can hardly recall. It's all bad quality stuff. People trading insults really at each other. Yeah, exactly. What's the point? I mean, what's the point?